Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome to a Roulette Rivals 9 match between Meekah and In4Fun. This is a winner's bracket round 4 match, first to 6. I'm joined by our new admin, Mando. How you doing, Mando?
I'm doing good, fellow new admin observer. How you doing, dude?
Not too bad. Really looking forward to this match. Some amazing maps, like we were just saying. Some quick ones and some long ones, and I think we're starting off with a long one probably.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? This is a map where you're looking anywhere between like 6, 7 minutes for some pretty crazy spins, and then we've seen. Well, I think this still holds the record by far of the longest map. I think that was it Roulette Rivals 6? I think between Buff and Soviet, something like 2 hours on this map alone.
Yeah,
So that's the kind of map you're working with here. Obviously, we're capped by 47 minutes for this first one, but it just proves that it is a map where literally anything can happen.
yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a good one. There's always a few spins to get thrown in the works. Don't think we've seen many fire kills yet using the Molotov, but you never know. We'll see what we get, and hopefully something interesting. Kind of throws our players into a bit of a choice for strats. The first spin's coming up as well, Manda, if you want to take it.
Yeah, well, I would love to. I just realized I've not got your chat. But anyway, we have Sean Rose, Loud Pistol, as the militia cook. We have Penelope Graves, Loud Assault Rifle, as the militia technician. Ezra Berg, Falling Object, as the militia spec ops. And Maya Pavati, Injected Poison, as a hacker. So, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's too outrageous. In4Fun must agree, because he is loading in within seconds. But pretty much, well, you can technically do everything here on map. There's no requirement to take anything in with you.
Yeah, agreed. And I was just thinking, I feel like we had injected poison hacker yesterday from Maya Pravati. I remember a player trying to get them in the barn kind of shed. I can't remember who was playing, but it's fun to see the same exact kill come up in the same target. It's gonna be interesting. So if you're watching your VODs, you have a bit of pre-thought.
Yeah, we're just confirming this is definitely a different spin. You're not in the past. It's fine. Just in case anyone's having a small panic. But two different strats straight off the bat. Westbridge start for In4Fun. Meekah going hacker start, which will allow him obviously to get all three isolations done very quick. And honestly, I don't know which I prefer.
Yeah,
Both very viable ISO strats. Would probably Meekah going for the hacker start. You are able to make that loud pistol soundproof down here, so perhaps that is a good plan.
yeah, I agree. I think also having the hacker as well is just a tiny little difference. And like you said, having Sean knocked out straight away is just one less thing to think about. So I do think it is going to work out in the short term for Meekah, but depending on how
Yeah,
In4Fun plays it,
Meekah's had some difficulty getting Ezra though. He's got Sean on the stairs and he's now been found. Yeah, he got a bit of whoosh and that guy turned around and was just staring straight at him, so he couldn't get the triple knockout in that room. So that already sets him back by a good 90 seconds now. In4Fun already has a hacker as well because he didn't really need to bring much with him. He has Tranks, which does make grabbing that disguise very easy. And he's going to go. He will have grabbed the free injected poison that you can find in the basement, and he'll be running off to get that kill anytime now. I would imagine he's going to isolate the technician shed first. I'm going to meanwhile actually get your chat popped out because that would be very helpful.
no worries at all. And yeah, Meekah's really having trouble with getting Sean with this hacker start. A lot of players do. If you go too quick, you can cause that guard upstairs to hear something. You try to knock out Sean from a distance, he might just fall out the front door. A lot of little things you got to deal with. Oh, and I think Meekah gets Sean there. Lucky baseball bat throw. Kind of wobbles around, but I realized we never did a prediction for this one, but we have plenty of maps coming up today, and I'll make sure we have one for the next one. But yeah, In4Fun, just trying to get this lure on Maya. Should be a pretty safe kill. Looks like she's not locked onto this screwdriver anymore, though. Oh, and she's calling it in, and that is a bit of an issue for In4Fun. You see this happen time and time again. And yeah, best bet for In4Fun, go back, restart that generator, start from square one and see if you can get Maya back over, which I think he has done.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those. It can be really awkward, but if you know sort of roughly what you need to do to reset those lures, whether it be using a different item or restarting the entire thing from scratch, as soon as you know that, it's a lot less stressful. And seasoned In4Fun, you can tell he knew that straight away, didn't you? But that is kill number one actually done for In4Fun, although she is taking her sweet time in dying, even going to box it, even though it wasn't needed.
Yeah, interesting choice there from In4Fun. Maybe just wants to avoid any random guards seeing it and causing some like domino effect of a panic onto like Sean or something.
Yeah, and Sean is currently in the technician shed, but I think Info looks like he's actually going to let him go back to the house. We sort of discussed briefly before that it does make it a little bit easier actually to let him get into the house because you can send him to the basement where you can. Is it? I don't know if both of the corners are soundproof or just one, but you can sort of make the tornado shelter soundproof, which will make that kill a lot easier. And Meekah just getting not been able to string anything together just yet. It just keeps getting a few rips here, and coming at pretty irritating times. When you're restarting sort of like 90 seconds into your run, it's never fun. All that time adds up.
Yeah, agreed. Meekah does just need to get the ball rolling. We usually see players that have some difficulty with the beginning. Once they get out of the house and move on to Maya, they usually more than often just finish the spin. It's just the beginning that really catches them, and that's why I think In4Fun actually did the right choice. Said, I'm not going to deal with Sean now. I'll just deal with the other targets and come back to him. Kind of worked out for him.
Yeah, and he's even going to hide. Well, I think In4Fun's got some time now. He's going to wait for Sean to come back over because he doesn't. Well, I suppose he could try and take the get the Ezra kill done. Actually, that might be what he's going to work towards because Sean is like a minute away, but I don't think he'll have time. I think Sean's normally back somewhere in the 6 minute range, so perhaps he has left his cook disguise there, so he's got that kill ready. Maybe he's just going to bring the Spec Ops disguise over while he's waiting, which is a good use of time. Possibly even just going to go for the technician instead. That is needed, obviously, for the Penelope kill. Meekah is just scanning the poor dead face, well, knocked out face of Sean Rose. So he definitely knows about the soundproof little bunker.
Yeah, I think Sean. Yeah, Sean's coming up the steps now for In4Fun, so he's been on a bit of a timer now to get him.
Yeah, and we'll want to be up there, ideally in the box. But no, he's missed that timing, so he's just going to grab the elite guard disguise or the militia elite. Sorry, he's got some time anyway because he needs to wait for Sean's guard to get upstairs because that dude has crazy good vision. He should be fine in just a second. Has that hacker in the other room as well, which is pretty scary, but he does have some time to work with because Sean, with his OCD, does stay in this room for quite a while. There we go, should be fine.
Yeah, looks pretty good for In4Fun. He has all targets knocked out.
Yeah, and that's coming straight off another rip for Meekah. I didn't even see what happened, unfortunately, but yeah, this time advantage at In4Fun now is pretty brutal. He's good just over 6 minutes ahead, and as you said, has all of his targets knocked out or even killed already. He's already got one of them down. All three in the same room, in fact. All he needs to bring over, I think, is a militia spec ops, which is not quite free, but it's very close to being free. It's one quick knockout in a room that you can make relatively safe. And yeah, I think I'm not saying there's nothing that can go wrong for Info because he still has to drag Ezra out into the falling object little room there, and he actually has to make that shot on. I have seen plenty of people rip there, myself included. Actually, I think I've had a rip there during the RRWC because the guards who are upstairs sometimes they can see you if you get caught dragging that body downstairs. It's never fun.
Yeah, I was about to say definitely Ezra is going to be the toughest one for In4Fun, but he has been playing pretty safe, and I'm sure he's going to look up to make sure that guard isn't patrolling at the wrong time.
Yeah, and In4Fun has actually got the point man going into that bathroom, so he's just going to use a different thrown object. And that should allow him to get both. It's a little bit scary because the point man is, yeah, he's actually just gonna reset here. I think this is probably a smart move. Doesn't want to take any risks. If he'd have gone for that there was definitely a chance that he could have been spotted. He's just lost his wrench. He does he have any tranks left, or as I think he might have used them on the cook.
Yeah, he definitely used one.
Yeah, he definitely. I think he used the other on the hacker, so I'm guessing he's got nothing left. He has got the point man again, so he might just opt to maybe knock out the point man. Oh no, he's just going to bring him over here. If he reacts to that, that should let him go and now knock out the point man. Yeah, this looks better for In4Fun here.
Yeah, super safe there. Even waited for the head turn to finish, the door to close for the person to turn around. Playing it really
Yeah,
well.
and the chef has, sorry, the cook has already been found as well, so he's not going to suddenly run over here to get changed, so he should be okay. You never like to say that with 100% because it can definitely happen, but it's looking good. He's going to pick up his smuggle. No, he's going to ignore his smuggle. He's going to go for the loud pistol, actually. There's a loud pistol on the map, which is over on this little... There's like a weapons table in the barn, which he's going to show us now. So, I mean, good map knowledge to not even have to check that. I know a lot of people might be on the old hitmaps.com just to verify that information, but Info clearly knew about that. I mean, we saw how quick he loaded in.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much everything for In4Fun now. Just a couple of shots and a couple of disguise changes in the bunker, and he's done. Of course,
Yeah, and
Ezra.
he does. Oh,
Of course, Ezra
yeah.
left,
Well,
and
he's
that's the
gonna
scary
want to
part.
do Ezra first, isn't he? He's gonna get Ezra out of the way first, I imagine, because yeah, that's where he's got any potential risk. We'll all hold our breaths for Info here, because yeah, rip 10 minutes into a spin is going to be painful.
For sure.
I'm guessing we're going to see plenty of instinct through the walls just to check every possible place. There you go. That's the guard I was talking about, the one who goes onto the balcony. He can and will spot you quite frequently when you have this body out here. These two hackers shouldn't be a problem because the door will open and protect him from their view.
Yeah, let's see. He's really waiting here now. Yeah, here we go. Like we said, if he's gonna rip anywhere, it's gonna be here. And that looks clean from In4Fun, and I think he's pretty safe now. Of course, he has 2 loud kills left to do, but as long as he knows this spot, he should be okay. Meanwhile, though, Meekah is after making a bit of time. He's at 5 minutes. I'm sure he has a lot of the targets isolated because he was going for hacker start. Looks like he has all 3 of them, and Maya dead. So he just has the same issue as In4Fun. I just grab those disguises and kill everybody in the bunker. But
Yeah, and speaking of In4Fun, he had a brief moment where he had that loud pistol pointing at Penelope's head, and oh boy, I panicked on his behalf. That would not have been fun, but yeah, that is In4Fun. He'll be taking map 1. There's no way Meekah will be finishing this in 47 seconds, not without some kind of crazy assistance. Which means we're over to rainy Scotland.
yeah, it's a fun map. I always forget it's actually Scotland, but it doesn't have that Scottish vibe to it. But what would I know?
Well, other than the weather, it's a little bit bleak.
I will get a prediction up for people this time. I won't insult these players by adding draw as an option. Set for a bit. Start for 5 minutes, but then stop it when the spin goes live. Yeah, GG's. Like we were saying, Meekah just couldn't get going off of the hacker start, and I feel like Westbridge actually worked out pretty well for In4Fun. He left Sean till the end, and it was just one less worry for him, and I think that was the difference.
Yeah, I mean, if you know I'm guessing In4Fun probably knew roughly how long he was expecting to be in that spin for. So as soon as he knew it was going to be enough time, for Sean to have returned, if he's more comfortable with the Westbridge start, which I know a lot of players are, myself included, that hacker start, it's a slippery slope sometimes because you do feel like you should commit to it, but it can be quite an awkward one to get going sometimes, as we saw actually. But yeah, Info just kept it sort of pretty cool and controlled. I think that was actually first attempt, I believe. Don't think we had any restarts from Info. He just loaded in exceptionally quick and just got going straight away. And yeah, pretty flawless. I don't think he could have done much difference to really save or lose any time. Really, he was as good as could be expected, in my opinion. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The average call spins like in a match, you'd probably see around like 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes on a bad one. And In4Fun, pretty much hit that perfectly. So we don't expect any daily spin shenanigans to be put into a Roulette Rivals match. It's about consistency at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and as you said, I think that was a pretty for two loud weapons in a spin. Info handled that. Like I said, I think he just had. I don't even think he really thought about anything. I think he just knew what he wanted to do straight away. Didn't even seem to think at the very beginning. I'll be honest. He would literally. By the time I'd even read the spin out, I think he was already loading into the map. He was pretty crazy. Yeah, both players actually just showing us. I'm guessing their isolations of choice here.
Yeah, Meekah going for the phone, which is a variation on the gold bar or the coins we see players do for this target. Meanwhile, In4Fun was practicing that Blake Nathaniel micro audio device just beforehand with the Seeker onto Zoe. I always mix them up. Doesn't help they're both called Washington.
Yeah, Sophia's the one that you start with if you're in the Architect's Lounge. Zoe's the one with the weird white dress thing on, who goes to the effigy. But yeah, it must be one of the few targets that I do actively use their first names rather than surnames. Something I just tend to use surnames because it's how I work IRL. But yeah, these two, I'll be honest, I agree with you. They're very confusing.
Yeah,
Goody making a good point. It is Sophia, so P purple. We should have known this. Sorry, Good. I know you put all this effort into teach us the ways, and then we disrespect you like this.
I love these. Sophia has more letters and more hair, so it's sorted. How could I forget it now? Sophia purple, Sophia more letters hair. Gotta write that down.
Add that one to the old shoutcasters notes.
Exactly as well, Gordy. Every day is a school day. So much learned today.
Yeah, I mean, I am learning a lot here. I'll be honest. These guys are, just showing off various bits of Segale knowledge. You know, even things as menial as the starfish location. It's something that I do forget every single time because it's normally not knowledge I care enough to need actively. But even this isolation, the burial robe room isolation that we're seeing from Meekah here.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Duel starts in 10 seconds.
But yeah, I mean, nothing to worry about now. The spin's going live, so I believe it's your turn.
Yeah, I think it is. And let's see what we got for this. We have Zoe Washington, Sacrificial Knife as the chef, and Sophia Washington, Loud Sniper Rifle Custodian. Sophia being the one in the purple with lots of hair.
That's the one. It is easier now we have a picture of them
Yeah.
for our convenience.
But yeah, what do you think of this spin, Mando? It's another loud weapon. It's definitely a loud day today. And a sacrificial knife as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just loadouty, isn't it? It's sacrificial knife. You can get one on the map, but why would you? And loud sniper, pretty easy to bring in, as both players are going to do. They'll just bring it in at the hyper, whatever that's called. The big word.
Hyperborean showroom, I think.
That's the one. Yeah, so it's literally right nearby, and the custodian's nearby as well. So Sophia's going to be a pretty quick kill here, or at least I would say so myself. In4Fun is going to show us that, I assume. He's going to bring that elite guard in as well, just to make everything that much easier.
Yeah.
Just have to wait an age for him to come over there. There we go.
Good choice of practice as well for In4Fun. We saw him doing this exact isolation before the spin came live. That's exactly why you want to practice these things. Just in the off chance they come up, you'd be surprised how much they help. Those little micro actions that you might forget to do, like the timing on the radio to bring the guard in, kind of gets refreshed in your mind. So,
And
nice.
it looks like chat is out as well, so GG. I may as well clear this spin right now. They've done it again, lads. They've done it again.
Yeah. Never beat chat.
I'm actually curious. Yeah, I was going to say, I think In4Fun is going to... I knew he'd be able to make this timing down here, so he is going to bring Zoe into this bathroom here with the second Seeker Dart. A very easy isolation for him here, because you can knock both of these targets out.
Meanwhile, though, Meekah went for the other isolation, the one we saw him practicing just before, I think with the ICA flash phone. Both players did practice for isolation as well, and they both worked out. Which one is better is going to be a bit of a question. I'm curious for the loud kill for Sophia. So, they're both going to deal with it.
Yeah, well, I think getting rid of this guard, if you wait for the right sort of, as long as you do bring that guard in and knock him out, I do think it's probably reasonably safe. I'm not going to say it's completely safe.
Yeah.
But definitely reasonably safe, just because there's not actually that many guards up there, to be honest. So you've definitely got time to duck out and find somewhere to hide, especially given that they will have that elite guard disguise in that room with them as well, which, as we all know, is probably the best disguise in the whole game.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There's basically 0 enforcers. There is a few, but they're in positions that aren't too inconvenient. We say, as In4Fun shows us the one custodian who, for some reason, can enforce this guard.
Yeah, super nice grab here from In4Fun. Love these out in the open, but they're actually perfectly covered disguise grabs.
Yeah, well, as you say, the only person who can interfere with this is Nathaniel Blake, but he must be on his walkabouts at this point. I don't know exactly where he'll be. My knowledge of his timings are not great, but he is on his walkabouts, so pretty safe for In4Fun to do that. Meekah, I mean, is still having a pretty easy time getting his. He's used a generator to grab one of the free ones near the helipad, but it is a little bit slower. But it's not going to be too bad, as long as In4Fun is able to sneak through this room. Got a lot of whoosh there, which is good, but good knowledge, because what he did there was he stayed outside of the bathroom, meaning that they won't follow him all the way in. Whoever was giving him that whoosh will just sort of stand outside.
Yeah, very nice from In4Fun, and didn't even get the peekaboo luckily, so didn't even have to worry about somebody being close. And we're going to get the first kill of the match, or this map even.
Yeah, like I said, he's smartly left his elite guard disguise up here as well, meaning he has still got another disguise he can change to if he wants. Isn't even going to bother. There's enough panic from that loud shot that he can just run straight on out, which is good stuff. And he will now be heading straight down to grab himself a chef. He has obviously started with the sacrificial knife.
Yeah, Meekah.
And he has
not too far behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's pretty much neck and neck here. And both players now have that second target, Zoe. She's knocked out for both players. So it's a race to the chef and a race back, really. And I think the Zoe ISO...
Oh,
yeah, and that is why Meekah has probably got the advantage here now, because he has gone for the elite guard, which will be able to go exactly where In4Fun has just met an unfortunate fate.
Yeah, that's
And
like chat just said. That is just uh, a kind of forgetfulness of what disguises are allowed where. It's impossible to remember all of them, but yeah, that's just one that would skip your mind. And I think it skipped all of our minds until it happened. That custodian isn't allowed into those kind of chamber areas. Yeah, unfortunate for In4Fun there. Big lead for Meekah because of that.
yeah, that is very, very costly. That is a good sort of what near 5 minutes that he's just lost, and Mika looks like. Well, I'm not going to say in the clear that don't want to do those casters jinxes, but yeah, it's looking very good. Took the safe away into the kitchen as well, which is sort of by the wake that's happening. You can get down that way. Even use the ice cooler just to make grabbing the disguise even easier.
Yeah,
Left his flash phone, but that shouldn't be a problem. Don't think he'll need that now. And yeah, I mean, he even has an exit pretty close by. There's one pretty much just off this room where we've just seen him actually. Uh, it's sort of on that rocky wall. I don't really know how else to word that one. Yeah, he'll be getting kill number 2 down.
oh, did get a investigation, but should be able to cancel it by dropping something, which he does.
Yeah, man. Is he going to change disguise? Should do, yeah. That's another elite guard disguise he's got there, which will definitely make using that escape I just mentioned pretty much free. I don't think anyone down there is an enforcer, so he'll be on his way. And this will be Meekah taking this to a tied match, which means we will be seeing at least one of the deciding maps at a minimum.
Yeah,
And I am going to be able to call this one straight away as well. There's no way In4Fun is coming back from that, unfortunately.
Score 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that Segale from Meekah? I mean, I think he might have had a couple of rips at the start, but once he got going,
yeah, just even little
again,
things like keeping Zoe in the grass outside made Cook actually a little bit easier, I think, rather than bringing Cook back up. But yeah, it's like I know In4Fun had Zoe in the bathroom, if I'm not mistaken. That was the explanation that he opted for. But yeah, I think it worked out nicer for Meekah. Regardless, it was a bit of a lead for In4Fun because Meekah, I think, had a rip or maybe just longer planning, but he played it perfectly, and both players took each other's map from each other, so kind of interesting dynamic right now. Like you said, we're going
yeah,
into the RNG ones now that the players didn't have a choice in picking, just avoiding through bans.
yeah, and based on stats alone, you've got to say In4Fun's looking probably pretty happy with this RNG map, right?
Yeah. I might just give this a refresh right now. And yep, that was a refresh it needed to go on to the next map, New York. And yeah, In4Fun, as we always see, has a bit of a joy in New York, especially with stats like that. 9 wins, 5 losses. It's not like the kind of map you get a tie on, to be fair. So
Yeah, and I mean, it's I always say this about many of these close maps, as it were. Oh, I'm going to say what's going on here. We need an extra 5 minute delay. In fact, so we'll have a bit more of a delay. Just for a few minutes on. Yeah, it's one of those maps where you can lose from a photo finish. So a loss doesn't always have to look like. It doesn't always mean it's as bad as it actually is. If that makes sense. You can lose and it can be exceptionally close. In fact, I'm actually going to go to the effort of pulling up In4Fun's New York stats because why not? We have some time to kill now. We have like 7 minutes. Fro, don't be like this. I will
it's
report you to the new admin observer.
for anybody watching the VOD. Quote saying it's one of those maps where you can lose. Yes, Mando. It's a good quote
That is
though. I do
true.
like that quote.
Yeah, that can be immortalized. Let's have a look. So, In4Fun has lost New York against Blythe. That was actually in the RR7 Grand Final. Let's see. He's also lost to I Like Hitman. That was in RRWC. I'm enjoying this. This is fun.
I
Where
love these
else?
stats.
Yeah, we've got a loss to Johnny X as well. That was back in, I think that was Roulette Rivals 5 I saw there. And David Red Sox going all the way back to RRWC #1. And right at the very beginning, RR2 as well. He lost to Mr. Mike. So he's actually, most of his losses are actually fairly old now.
Yeah,
In terms
jeez.
of, well, as far as tournaments goes, like I said, he lost against Blythe in RR7, but other than that, we're going back a while. So,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
about to say, what
there's
was
the
the oldest
stats.
one? Roulette Rivals 2 was the...
Yeah. I wasn't even here for Roulette Rivals 2.
I was trying for the life of me to try to remember what the name of Old New York was. It was like New Dutchland or New Hampshire, some crazy name. It was something for New York, but couldn't connect it in my brain. Whatever it was called, I'm sure somebody knows. New Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam, there you go.
Yeah, and the record as well, set by none other than In4Fun, 2 minutes 15 seconds. That's essentially, I don't know if you have it up there actually, Mando, and the records on our stats. It's probably something like Janitor SMG or even a.
I think I was talking to him about this the other day. I believe it was security guard neck snap,
Oh,
which
okay.
is obviously most players choose to start as a security guard because it lets you get those tokens nice and quick. Because yeah, when we there was a map, I believe Osh had a map. I can't remember who he was playing now, but there was New York. I think it was like Scissors as the security guard, and we wanted to know if it had world record potential, as it were. Obviously, that world record is, of course, RTA in the middle of a tournament, which just makes that even more insane.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah, next snap is security guard. I've just confirmed. But yeah, I did run the scissors as a security guard. I was able to beat his time, but that was after like an hour of grinding. So the fact that he did that in a tournament live on his first go, and yeah, including planning, is just insane.
Yeah, super
Yeah,
impressive.
that's probably one of the records I would say is I would never dare to say it's unbeatable, but that is probably pretty close to being unbeatable because you're requiring pretty much the same spin that Info got to have much of a chance of that one.
Out of curiosity, I wonder what is our fastest record for any map? It's probably something like Paris or one of those.
Dartmoor is the absolute fastest, which was Danny Buta. Explosive weapon as private investigator, 1 minute 38.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that again includes his pre-planning, which I mean the pre-planning for that is basically just breacher and go. But even still, I would be doubting myself. I'd have to double and triple check my loadout still, and yeah, Danny'd be done long before I even got going. It's a wild stat. But yeah, 2:15. That is yeah. So this is our second quickest, which is unsurprising with both of them obviously being one target maps. But I mean, the craziest part about the old stats is still Hokkaido now. Have you seen the Hokkaido stats?
um,
Three joint world records, two of which are
yeah,
both by Blythe. I mean, someone banned that man from playing Hokkaido.
that's crazy. I think I recall Pidgey is the other person that holds it. I think I recall Pidgey's record on Hokkaido.
It certainly is. Yeah, so yeah, Pidgey. I think he said it first, and then literally like 2 days later, Blythe matched it, and then a tournament later, Blythe once again matched it, which is yeah, just pretty insane. Chances of that happening. I can't wait till we see Pidgey come back and add a fourth at 325.
Yeah, I'm curious. Do we have any other tied records on any map? Is that the only one with a tie, and it just so happens to be three?
Yes, it is currently. I'm sure there's probably potential for that to change, especially as people sort of learn Ambrose and things like that. But yeah, for the time being, we have one joint map, and yeah, it happens to by chance be three different runs all at the
Crazy.
exact same time. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't got more joint ones on maps, sort of like Paris, like you mentioned, or something along those lines, where
Yeah, or
there's like
like
a standard set of ISOs that people do that are pretty quick.
yeah, like Dubai. I would have expected something like that. You know, because you'd be waiting for Marcus Davison to come in through that door, and most people isolate him there. for the second one if you got a really good spin. I'd expect a lot of spins to get close to matching each other on that. Of course,
Yeah, Dubai's a 242 currently, so plenty of quick timings. I mean, it is obviously one of those things now as well. There's actually no double figures spins anymore. All of our world records are now below the 10-minute mark. So I think the last one to go was Santa Fortuna. I think that was broken by some random person in Roulette Rivals 8. So yeah, it's good to see how quick people are getting. To be honest, I do like myself a nice world record. As much as I love the chaos spins, you know, loud, live, all that jazz. It is nice to see a world record. I mean, we saw, I think we've seen 2 or 3 now already during Roulette Rivals 9, including Whittleton Creek. I don't know if you caught that one. I know me and
yeah.
Osh were shoutcasting it, but 4:05 from Joker, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Oh, no,
Joker and Fanium, I think it was. I think it was a double record almost, wasn't it? Photo finish record, maybe?
technically, it is. It both were eligible to become a world record, but yeah, Joker just finished like 10, somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds quicker, I think.
Agent, get ready.
But yeah, both could have had that world record, which is it's just crazy. And people say it's just because of the spin, but obviously you still have to do it on the day. So yeah, good stuff.
3, 2,
Either way, spin time, and I believe it's back to me.
Yeah.
We have Athena Savalis, Fiberwire as the fired banker.
Yeah,
Which,
so not too bad. Pregnancy Janitor starts pretty similar to a Janitor spin when you think about it. You just got to do 2 knockouts. But In4Fun going for Security Guard, going to get that data disc first, which sometimes can be better if you know what you're doing and you get Fabian on the way up as well. Then it can be really fast.
yeah, I think I would still go for the security guard myself. I mean, as good as it is to get the fired banker nice and quick, you can still get him very quick with the security guard start. As we can see for In4Fun, he's not really actually lost any time whatsoever here. Probably going to lose like 10 seconds or so. And I mean, chances are he's probably going to be waiting for Savalas anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's got the better strat here.
Yeah, tiny alterations. See, Meekah, the different star, he deals with the cameras manually, whereas In4Fun just drops an EMP. The loader lets you do that. It's always a safe option. In4Fun going for the disc now, whereas Meekah's heading up to the office, going to get the kill. And yeah, you would think it's going to favor maybe In4Fun because it is, I think, closer to the director exit from the office. So let's see.
Yeah, like I said, In4Fun pretty much up here now at the exact same time, but he has that extra token, extra disc already. So yeah, I'd say the pendulum is definitely swinging in In4Fun's direction. They're literally going through the door, pretty much neck and neck. Yeah, yeah, I much prefer what Info's gone for here. Just needs to be careful. Yeah, this is again perfect. As long as as long as there's no quick wake up, and as long as she doesn't glitch out, he's gonna hold the pistol in her face. That'll keep her stationary for the garrote. Yeah, good stuff. In fact, Meekah's having problems with that exact thing. He's managed to get himself behind her to get that fiber wire kill, but he did have a scary moment there because she nearly would have had to run away for him to get that kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this from In4Fun.
Yeah, he's done. Straight to the exit now. Even though that up here is a fired banker, which is always on disguise to bring up. And yeah, he's done. We can see that finish pop up any moment now. There it is, and yeah, went for both discs, went up, didn't have to go back down. That's just clean. Super nice. Sub 3 as well, RTA for In4Fun again. Another 2-minute time for him. I'm sure he's happy with that.
Yeah, and I'm going to let this play out just ever so slightly. I mean, it probably will hit photo finish range, but as soon as I tell both players, well, mainly Meekah, that In4Fun had only the one load, I'm hoping the photo finish will be forfeited. It will definitely be in that range, but should be Player, yeah,
Ooh.
38-second difference. So I will send that command, and I'll just see how the players feel. Doing my job properly and all that.
Yeah. I do expect Meekah is gonna give up those 38 seconds. It's just too big of a map to challenge it. But yeah, clean from In4Fun. I think a lot of people kind of expected that from In4Fun. Of course, Meekah had just as much of a chance, but that experience for In4Fun really pays off. He saw 14 games played in a tournament setting. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I have had the confirmation. Meekah says I didn't even start the maths yet. I just asked him if he wanted to waver, and yeah, straight off the bat, he knows he can't make up 38 seconds, especially not. I think In4Fun. I mean, he has those crazy SSD load times anyway, so
To 2.
he would have had to load in about 30 times anyway just to get above that. That's the sort of wild part, I suppose, about photo finishes on the PC bracket.
And yeah, we're on to everybody's favorite map, Mendoza. It's a fan favorite. Don't think I've ever met somebody who doesn't like Mendoza. Danny showing love for it.
I know Buff is a big fan, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If someone could just let him know that we're about to play it, I'm sure he'll want to wake up and. Oh well, I think he might be at work, but if we could just get him here, that would be great.
Yeah, he even made a whole episode about it, if I'm not mistaken, on how much he loves the
Yes,
roulette on it.
that is exactly what happened, I believe.
Mendoza, one of those maps where you can lose.
There we go. Can send that spin, so now we can see some lovely stats at least. Nothing for Meekah, actually. Never played Mendoza in a Roulette Rivals tournament. But the stats perhaps not necessarily proving that it's In4Fun's favourite map in the world. It's 5 wins for 7 losses. But
Yeah,
plenty of experience nevertheless.
nearly a reverse ratio of New York. We kind of saw, what was it, 8 or 9 wins for New York and 5 losses, so kind of the inverse for In4Fun, but still nearly 50-50. Getting close. You'll get it closer to 50-50 if you can win this, of course. Oh yeah, prediction. Did I even pay out the last one? Let me see.
Chat they're so hungry for predictions.
There we go. Now Joker had his whole bank account on In4Fun there.
I knew I should have done the photo finish math just to really make him wait.
Yeah, we should have accidentally gave it to Meekah just so we could give it the points technicality. And let me quickly get the next one ready. Probably set it for 2 minutes. I'll set it for 5 actually. I'm getting used to this end submissions option, which I feel like I should have been doing from day one. But yeah, I was going to ask you what do you want to see from Mendoza, but I suppose you're the admin, so you have to pull a poker face for me.
I would love to see not what I have just spun. The exact opposite. No, I mean, I can definitely say what I like to see. I mean, again, we've already had plenty of world record discussion, but it's a world record kind of day for me. I would love to see something world recordy, because who doesn't? You know, it's nice to see things done quickly. I'm sure Meekah probably doesn't feel the same way unless it's him doing it. It is of course now match point to In4Fun, so a little bit of a scary time, real quick for Meekah.
Yeah.
And I won't say the next map on the cast anyway, but anyone who wants to see it can see it in the Discord. But Meekah definitely will probably. I mean, I can't even say what I want to say because it does give it away. I need to be.
Sense
I need
it.
to be. That's why I'm just mumbling. I'm trying to find a way of saying something that's not going to reveal it. So I'll just shut up now.
We did see one thing, like I said earlier, fire has been obviously the kind of main focus of this, and we did see fire for Don Yates not too recently. We saw some interesting approaches. Was it Curry
Yes.
Maker if I'm not.
It was Curry Maker, yeah. He
Yeah,
didn't have the old Molotov unlocked, so did a lovely drag across the entire map, bless him,
amazing.
to get that kill done. I think that was against Gordy, who cheated and used the meta and used the Molotov.
Yeah, we don't like that
That's
here,
right.
but
I'm calling you out, Gordy. Shameful behavior. But yeah, I mean, it was a good watch. Well, for someone dragging a body halfway across the map, it ended up being a really good watch. I was very much amused.
yeah,
Perhaps Curry won't feel the same way, but
no, it's definitely it's going in the highlight vid. Don Yates across the field, fire kill, just amazing.
the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
is just one big highlight.
I'll make a thumbnail, but actually it's just a link to the VOD of the Curry match.
Oh dear, it was good. It's an unconventional new meta.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Although
gonna be
I'm sure it probably gave Curry the kick up the backside to go and get the Molotov. I'm sure he doesn't want to do that to himself ever again.
yeah, true, very true. It's one of those Murphy's Law. You think you don't need it, that's when you need it. It's gonna come up, so you might as well get it just in case. Spin's coming up, and if I'm not mistaken, did I take the last one? Or did you take the last one?
No, it's your turn, dude.
Oh, it is my turn. Wow, I get to do the best map of the trilogy. So we have Don Yates fall as the winery worker and Tamara Vidal next snap as the mercenary. So, interesting spin. Not as linear as you'd expect. Winery worker, of course, is kind of one of those further disguises. There's a couple that people can go for. You could start in it. You could grab that one down by the winery kind of area. Believe it or not, that's where he is.
But, I mean, as long as you isolate Tamara first, because if you do go down to the winery, she will head over this way, I believe, which is problematic because once she starts heading on that tour, she's just a real pain in the backside. I don't know if starting as a winery worker starts that straight away. I honestly can't say I've ever used that disguise in a Roulette Rivals spin.
Yeah, it's a weird one. You don't see it too often. It's usually an afterthought for a lot of people. They come down here, down these stairs, you see Meekah going up, knocking at those two people, and then heading back up to Tamara in the bathroom or something. Yeah, it's a fun one. Looks like In4Fun going for kind of bubblegum approach, I'll call it. You see most players kind of throw a bubblegum and leave her fall asleep there, but In4Fun just using a crowbar. Meanwhile, Meekah is maybe going to make Don Yates in his first cycle. Hopefully he can get a safe isolation on him up in his balcony. Yeah, hard to say who's in the lead right now. Very early on, but
Yeah, Mika's definitely going to be able to make Don's cycle. I think he's literally just past Don. Actually, Don's still in the little. I don't even know what that room's called, but like where you serve the wine and all that stuff. The little Providence meeting room.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know what any of the maps called on Mendoza, to be honest, or at least the official map names, anyway. Yeah, In4Fun now has both targets isolated. Going to bring himself up a mercenary disguise. Don't know why I said the word mercenary so weird. No one talk about it ever again.
Should be safe for In4Fun. I think In4Fun made sure that Yates' wife wasn't on a chair. I feel like I always say this because it is a thing that happens to a couple of players. They forget that that guy has a line of sight when he's being subdued. Those corner subdues can be very tricky. But yeah, very similar right now. Only difference is I don't think we saw Meekah deal with Tamara, whereas In4Fun already has Tamara isolated in the grass.
Yeah, now, something I want to point out here is... So I believe we had this exact sort of... So we had the fall part of this spin in one of the Roulette League games that happened the other day. And apparently there's some pretty funky behavior when you do a fall kill on Don Yates. Something like people go up to the balcony and can find those knocked out mercenaries.
Oh wow.
Now, I didn't know anything about that, but I mean, In4Fun that is going to be his second kill, so he might have time to get out anyway. But that would be something that maybe I know In4Fun knows about it because he's the one who told us the other day in the league. But yeah, I'm curious as to whether that could cause an issue, perhaps. But who knows? He's going to head down and grab himself a free winery worker. I mean, there is actually a literal free winery work, I believe. And does that look to you like that Tamara is in the tour? She looks very low down on the map there.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. The verticality is so hard to read through instinct, but I do think you're right in saying she's further than she should be.
Yeah, and In4Fun has Tranks actually, which makes getting this winery work even quicker. I forgot this guy was here, so he can get pretty much straight back up.
Yeah, and the benefit to this as well is since In4Fun dealt with Tamara first, that car exit is easier for In4Fun to leave, whereas Meekah's going to have to go for probably Tango or maybe even the Wineyard, depending on the approach. I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be the Vineyard because, I mean, he's got a remote emetic, but I thought she still went to the bathroom upstairs. For some reason, she never seems to use this bathroom down here, or at least that's what I was informed. Never tested it myself. In4Fun currently blocked as well by that mercenary. That's going to slow him down just a touch. But both players actually pretty much neck and neck here. I mean, in game time, they're literally identical, or very, very close
Oh
to it,
wow.
like half a second in it, which is pretty crazy.
Well, lie on my stream, they are millisecond to millisecond.
Yeah, I was going to say it's exceptionally close here as well. And so she is going to head all the way upstairs here. So does he maybe try and catch her at the bottom of the stairs there?
Yeah.
But In4Fun has that kill done, so In4Fun is in the lead. He has another mercenary disguise. He's got a waiter as well, which of course is legal once you jump down from these grounds. The disguise is going to pop any second now. There we go. Just has this little short run. This should be good for In4Fun. I'm going to let the 47 seconds play for a little bit, just because I don't want to be that guy and call it too early. But I think, yeah. Well, Meekah's letting them get all the way upstairs actually, so I think that is definitely going to be In4Fun. Let's pay this out right now. There we go. I'll call it.
But yeah,
Score six.
like you said,
to two.
pretty clean. I don't think either player had a restart anyway, so it would have come down to loading time for the very beginning, which definitely wouldn't have counted for the 47 seconds that Meekah could have had for a photo finish, but just clean. I think all the maps today were very clean. I think Scale was the only one we really saw a bad rip on from In4Fun. That was the only mistake we really saw from In4Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't even a bad rip. It just came at like a really inconvenient time, and it was so easily done. Like, we've seen countless players, and I'm sure we've all done it in casual play, where you just forget where you're legal to be in certain disguises. It's easy to overthink, where you can safely roam, which is what happened there. And yeah, I think if that had have happened a little bit earlier for In4Fun, he probably could have clawed it back, to be honest. But yeah, it came like 4.5 minutes into his run, so yeah, a struggle for him to come back from that, unfortunately. But still, it didn't seem to affect him at all, did it? He came back very strong on New York and Mendoza.
Yeah, so clean from In4Fun, and again, amazing from Meekah. Meekah was just kind of a shadow of In4Fun. In4Fun was just on his A game today, but Meekah was anything far from bad. He was playing amazingly well and made you consider a couple of photo finish windows, which is as much as a compliment as any. So yeah, we will raid Gordy for sure, FE, but first we'll just quickly check what matches are coming up soon. We have a few minutes anyway till the next match begins. We'll check with
the
that.
bracket should have been posted as well.
Perfect. It's about to ask myself. So yeah, In4Fun does move on since this was a winner's bracket, and he's going to be going against Zerun, who been on a bit of a tear, to be fair, taking a Tanega, Fro, and Pidgey, and then moving on to In4Fun. So
Yeah,
some great matches coming up soon. And
he's toppling champions. Is Zerun.
yeah, for sure, he's playing out of his mind lately. He does have to keep it up to get the win, which is always tough. You can have a good start, but if you don't finish, doesn't mean much. But I'm sure he's going to do amazing. Meanwhile, though, what does that do for Meekah? He's going to be going against Tanega or the winner of Gordy and Mr. Mike, which is happening very soon as well. I think that's on at 10 o'clock, my time at least, so 3 hours.
Yeah, 10 o'clock UK. Yeah.
And I think myself and Joker are casting that. Speaking of which, we will check what matches are being casted today and what's left. We have a good few claimed today, which is very nice. We have Currymaker and Froat 7, which is happening in about 7 minutes, and we're going to make you go over to them and watch. Going to be a really good game. Gordy and Osh are casting that. Then we have Mikulers and Barb. 2 hours later, that's being casted by Joker. An hour after that, we have Gordini Roy and Mr. Mike, as we were just saying. This will be casted by myself and Joker an hour after the Barb and Mikulers game. We have Matty and Blight, which is an hour and a half after the Gordy game. Izuku Chan and Ducker, amazing game as well. That's on Thursday at 2 o'clock CEST. Moo and Danny, another amazing game. Mumbai Whittleton, 6 o'clock Thursday. And Maddie and TK47 at 8 o'clock on Thursday. But yeah, I guess any final comments? Mando, what you think of the match? Both players, how'd they do?
Well, yeah, as we said before, Meekah, I mean, sometimes people feel annoyed after a loss, but he just can't feel annoyed at all. Like, he played pretty much perfect himself. A little bit of a shaky start on Colorado with a few rips trying to get the hacker start running, but after that, he literally didn't put a foot wrong, really. Just came up against In4Fun being In4Fun. That's pretty much all you can say, honestly. In4Fun was, as you said, on his A game, and yeah, his A game is pretty unbeatable on its day. So Meekah can definitely keep his head high, and he's still in the tournament as well. So I'm glad we get to see more from him, because to bring In4Fun near photo finishes is very good in and of itself.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I don't even have much to add to that. Pretty much perfectly summarized it. In4Fun was on his A game, and Meekah was just so close to matching that A game, but almost hitting it isn't enough, and In4Fun does take it, and it's definitely not the last we're going to see of Meekah. It's not the last you're going to see of Real Rivals either, because we're heading over to Gordy, and he's about to start casting this Currymaker and Froat game. Want to clarify? I don't know if I assume he's online. He's been having some Twitch issues.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll head straight over. I think I paid that prediction. And yeah, we're heading over to Gordy. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks Mando for the co-cast and for the adminning side.
Pleasure, dude. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, we'll catch you soon and enjoy the match, guys.